Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your yoga right before your bedtime there. So some deep stretches tonight, onto the mat. Some more yin-like restorative poses for us this evening. So just a few things to take a little some of the props that we may need this tonight, and you can always modify them to whatever you have at your house there. So I have a couple of yoga blocks that are great for that lift up from the ground for you. I've got a folded up towel for a little cushioning onto the knees on the low back. I've also have my bolsters this evening, and we'll go into some poses, well, maybe a couple of poses that might need something sort of like this. So maybe a cushion or pillows. Wrap those towels in your bathroom that you can use that as bolster as well. So those are things we will need for our class tonight. But we're going to get started right in the seated position. Cross your legs, sit onto a foam block, sit up onto towels this evening or a cushion, your bolster if you have it. And we're going to roll our shoulders back and get right into our breath. We're going to stay nice and low on our mat this evening. We're not going to come into standing poses this evening. We're going to stay right on the mat. Come onto our hands and knees. Come onto our belly for a little bit too. As long as it works for you, you can always scrap whatever doesn't work. And let's just move into our breath. Hope everybody's had a good day so far. Let's start to let go. So as you roll those shoulders back, let them slide down to the low back, softening your gaze to the tip of your nose or closing your eyes completely. Just tuning into your breath, connecting with your body, coming into your space. Feel everything that's making contact to the mat, ground it down. Find that length in the spine, sit up a little taller. Feel that space into the low back, and we start to relax from the shoulders all the way to the fingertips, and breathe. Being aware of our breath right now, in through the nose. Exhale. Breathe in. Full breath out. Let's take one more here, and we'll move into a breath together. In through the nose. Exhale. And let that breath go. Let's inhale to the count of 4. When you're ready, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Let's try that again. We're going to do that a few times there. Inhale. 1, 2. Take your time. Fill up. 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go on. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that breath go. We're going to stretch it out all the way to a count of 5. When you're ready, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it right at the top there just for a second. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that breath go and come back to that natural rhythm in your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in your breath in. And let that breath go. And let this breath guide you throughout your practice this evening. And we're going to start to move into a little neck circling here. Tuck that chin in towards the chest and feel that space into the backside of your neck. Staying there for another second. Feel the shoulders roll forward a bit and then start to circle around, nice and gentle. Find those neck rolls. Feel the muscles to the sides, front, back of the neck as you slowly move right around. Just taking your time. And if at any time circling doesn't work for you, take it out. More of a sway side to side, front and back movement of the head tilting forward and back, whichever works for you. Learning to listen to our body, modifying anything that doesn't work in our sequence today. Good. Now let's switch directions, go the other way. All right, breathe in. Slow breath out. Pausing in it anywhere on the in your movement to stay because it just feels that good. Good. One more time. Breathe in. Slow breath out. Start to make your way back to center. Head back between the shoulders. Take your time. And once you get back to the shoulders, take your shoulders all the way up and give them a little circling as well. Good. You might even switch directions a couple of times there too. Good. Now let's take our arms all the way up towards the sky, interlace the fingers, turn the palms up towards the ceiling, stretch into the sides of the body, belly button gently starting to draw in towards the spine. And then release the hands, take your arms behind you, interlace the fingers right at the low back. Bring the palms of the hands as close as you can. Roll the shoulders back, open right across the chest, sit up nice and tall, breathe right here. Good. Now you might take the arms right back up again. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms up. You might take the gaze up here. Feel the space into the front side of the neck. Good. And then release. Bring your arms behind you one last time as you interlace the fingers, drawing the hands together, open right across the chest. Sit up nice and tall. And then maybe a gaze down towards your legs, towards the ground in front of you. Breathe. Feel the stretch into the back side of the neck. And then slowly release, come back to center, arms back alongside you. Give your shoulders another little shrug or some movement here. Let's get right back into the neck there. Continue the movement of the neck or stretch in the neck. We're going to tilt your head over to your right ear towards that right shoulder. Open the space into the left side of your neck. Good. You might start to take that right arm up and over, palm to the side of the head. As you open up a little further, maybe. Maybe you start to option to take that left arm out to the side. Maybe hands or fingers onto the mat or the ground there. Maybe you start to lift it up, stretch it out. Just finding a couple of breaths here as you open up the space a little bit more into the side of the neck. And these are just options. You can take the one that works the best for you. Breathe in. And exhale. And then release, come back to center. Notice how that feels. And then let's even things out. Let's tilt over to the left ear towards that left shoulder. Hold it there for a second, maybe starting to bring that left arm up and over, palm to the side of the head, maybe walking a little further to the top of the ear there. And then option to take that right arm out, fingers down. You might stay here. You may start to lift it up, stretch it out a little bit more. Sit up nice and tall. Find that length. lift up and out of your hips. One more breath here. Full breath out. Good, and then gently release. Come all the way back to center. Again, a little movement if you need that. And then let's take our arms all the way back up towards the sky. Interlace the fingers again. Turn the palms up. And just take a little lateral movement to the spine. Side stretch. Nice and gentle. You're not moving very far here at all. Just warming up the sides of the body. Good. Now let's take it over to the right side. Relax that right hand down, left arm up and over. So bring that right palm to the ground and then start to lift up and over with that left arm. Open that left shoulder back a bit. You might keep the neck neutral, gazing to the front of the room. You might take it up towards the sky. Breathe. Full breath in. Full breath out. Let's swing both arms up. Exhale down. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Pardon me. Left hand down, right arm up and over. Stretch. Find that space into the right side of the body from the hip all the way to the tips of your hands there. Breathe in. Full breath out. Now let's do one more time on each side. Take the arms up. Exhale, lower them down. Right hand down, left arm up and over. Good. Last time over to your left. Swing the arms up. Exhale over. Feel that stretch into the side of the body. Breathe in. Exhale. Good. And then start to release. Come all the way back to center. Give your shoulders a little shrug. We're going to find a little twist here. We're going to turn over to your right side. Hands start to walk over to the right side. Right hand onto that right leg, on the knee. And then left hand onto that right knee as you bring that right hand behind you. Sit up nice and tall. Open up the space into the right part of the chest, down to the rib cage, maybe a little gaze over to the right side, opening up shoulder up a little bit more, a little lighter into the right fingertips as you lift up and out of the hips. Lengthen, engage your core here. Breathe, open up as you exhale. Let's take one more breath here, in through the nose. Slow breath out. Now let's keep that left hand on that right leg, wherever it is. Take your right arm up towards the sky. Feel that stretch there into the side of the body. Now, if you have a little bit more space, take that right arm up and over. So the hand, that right hand or the fingertips are reaching over to the opposite leg there or towards that leg. So we're not going all the way down. Breathe in. Full breath out. Great job, everybody. Now let's keep that right hand, left hand where it is. Take your right hand down. Create this little bit of an X in front of here. So the arms are crossed right in front at the elbows there. And we're just going to lower our head down, tuck the chin in, belly button in towards the spine. Start to round the spine a bit here. Good. So we're kind of in this cat pose seated. Now inhale, lift. The chest starts to go right towards the X there. The heart lifts, maybe a gaze forward, maybe a little higher than eye level. Now exhale, round the spine. So we're getting into a little bit of this cat and cow pose. Take an inhale, rise back up into that cow pose, modified cow pose. Exhale, round the spine. Nice work. One more time, breathe in. Full breath out, round the spine. Come back to neutral, shoulders back over the hips. Now keep that right hand on that left leg, wherever it is, and then slide that left arm out. Bring the left hand or fingertips back behind you. Turn and twist, and you're right into your twist on the other side. Breathe. Sit up tall, right onto both sit bones, opening into the left side of the body there, chest, rib cage opens up a little bit more. Maybe a gaze over, shoulder rolls back a bit more. Take another breath here. Slow breath out. Good. Now let's take that left arm up now, keeping that right hand where it is. Left arm up, reach it up towards the sky, and then maybe over. Angling the arm over so it's reaching to the opposite side. Breathe in. Slow breath out. Great job, everybody. Now we're going to create that X one more time, keeping that right hand where it is. Lower that left hand down onto the right leg. Back to that X. Start to tuck the chin in. Relax the head. Soften behind the neck. Belly button in towards the spine. Round. Inhale, lift up into your cow pose. Chest opens right towards the X. Exhale, round, right back into your cat pose. Couple more times here. In through the nose. Exhale. And because we have the arms crossed in front of us, it's not going to be huge movement here. Remember, this is just a modified, just a variation of it, of your cat and cow. One more time. Breathe in. Full breath out. Nice work. Come back to that neutral spine. Take your time. Shoulders back over the hips. Release the arms. Uncross them. Open them up. Right side to side. Exhale, close. Inhale to open right across the chest. Shoulders roll back a bit more. Squeeze into the shoulder blades. Exhale, round. Hug yourself in a little bit. Inhale, open up. Exhale, little bit of a hug here. One more time, breathe in. Full breath out. Good, relax the hands down towards the legs. Take a little bit of cat-cow with the hands right on the legs there. Open space now. Take an inhale. Let's move into cow pose first. Shoulders back, belly button forward. Exhale, round the spine. Let the head relax. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round. One more time. Breathe in. Full breath out. Good. Come all the way back to neutral. Hands down onto the ground here, right in front of you on the mat. You can always use your blocks here as well and place your blocks in front. We're just going to fold over our legs here. Feel the space into the back body. Take another breath here. Let it go. And slow breath out. Start to tuck the chin and rise all the way back up. Nice and tall to the side. Shoulders roll back. Move any props out of the way. And then we're going to take the legs, bend up the knees, place the feet onto the ground here. Nice. Good. We're just going to bring a little movement to our hips. We've been sitting for a bit there, cross-legged. Your legs might have extended out wherever it is. Just give some movement to the legs here. We're going to bring our hands right behind us. Fingers can point forward. They can go out. It doesn't matter to the sides as well, as long as you're feeling okay where they are. And we're just going to bring a little windshield wiper into the legs, seat it. With ease, nice and slow movement into the hips, a little blood flow back into the legs. Good. Let's do one more round here. And then come all the way back to center. Nice work. Now we're gonna keep with the the legs here, we're going to find a little bit of figure four, seated upright. So with those hands back behind you, we're going to walk the feet out to the front of the mat a little bit more or to the front of the room there, whichever way you face. We're going to take that right leg, cross it over, creating this figure four here. Now, if it's too much, too intense to bring that left knee up, just place it down onto the ground and cross it here. And you can sit up nice and tall. You can start to bend bit by bit into that leg there. You keep the heel up, keep the toes up as you ground into the heel, wherever it is. Stay, breathe, drawing, opening into that right hip there, feeling a little bit of stretch to the outside of that right thigh. Maybe a little flexion into the right toes. Breathe. So the closer that left foot steps in towards your glutes, the the more intense it gets into your body. So see if how it feels for you. You can always scale it back, slide that left foot out a little further, or take it all the way down onto the mat. Extend it out. Just a couple of breaths here. Full breath in. Full breath out. Great job, everybody. If you've taken that left foot in quite a bit, walk it out a bit and then start to release that right foot down. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you might want to slide that right foot out a little further out away from the glutes first, just to give yourself a little bit of room in your hips, and then start to lift that left leg up and over. Maybe starting to walk it in, maybe starting to walk it back away from you. And then finding your depth here. A little flexion into the left toes. Open that left knee back a bit. Feel that stretch, the opening into the left hip now. And take a few breaths here. Good. Breathe in through the nose. Slow breath out. Let's take one more. Good job, everybody. Let's start to slide that right leg or walk the foot out a little bit. Release that left foot back down. And keep the knees bent here. Keep the hands behind you. If you need a little circling or a little wrist movement here, you can do that. Find that little bit of release there. And we're just going to lift our heels up, press into the toes, and then lift the toes up. Just stretch out the tops of the feet here for a bit. Good. One more time. Exhale, release, bring the feet back down. Open both sides of the knees to the sides of the mat. Bring the soles of the feet to touch. And you might just sit up nice and tall. Sometimes that feels really nice. You might bring blocks under your legs, under your knees there if you need, especially if your knees are feeling a little high this evening. Then bring the blocks, relax your hips down. And you can stay right here. You might fold over your legs. Grab for those toes there right in front of you, or just relax the palms in front. Good. Breathe right into the back body, right into the hips, inner thighs as they open and get a little heavier out to the sides of your mat. I'm going to take another breath here. Slow breath out. Start to tuck your chin in towards your chest. Rise all the way back up. Roll the shoulders back. And then let's start to keep that right knee exactly where it is, bent up in that butterfly pose. Take that left leg, extend it out. Start to place the right foot to the inner lining of your left leg. Good. Flex the left toes, take your arms up, maybe a little scooch of that torso um to your so that it's in front of your left leg. Start to fold over your left leg there. Good. Finding that space, hinging at the hips. Relax your head, soften behind the neck. We'll take another breath here. Slow breath out. We're going to start to rise up just a little bit there. I'm not going to go all the way up. We're going to keep that left hand on top of that left leg. Maybe forearm comes down, doesn't have to. We're going to start to open to the right side of the room there. Open that right shoulder, right hand to that right hip. Maybe a little gaze over to the right side, keeping that right glute down, keeping that right knee, right leg down as much as you can. Always welcome to bring a block under that right leg too. And then just start to open up. Feel both sit bones down. Flex into the left toes as you open up the space into the right side of the body. Breathe. Right, right into that right lung. In through the nose. Open up. Exhale. Job, everybody. Come all the way back to center. Notice that into the upper body there. And then start to extend that right leg. Slide it all the way out. Bend into that left knee. Place the left foot to the inner lining of that right leg. Sit up nice and tall. Start to scooch the torso over so it's facing to the right leg this time. And then take the arms up. Give yourself a nice little stretch here. Lift up and out of the hips. Exhale, fold over that right leg, hinge at the hips, come up and over the hips and start to find that little bit of gentle rounding into the upper part of the spine, soften into the neck, into the head if it is accessible to you. Flex into those right toes, ground the heel down. All right, breathe in. Slow breath out. Now we're going to start to rise up, tuck that chin in, just rising up a tiny bit there. And then we're going to keep that right hand or right shin to the right leg, to the inside of the leg, wherever is accessible to you. Left hand goes onto that left hip. Open and roll that left shoulder back. Feel both sit bones, especially that left one. Relax that left leg down. Open up the space. Breathe. Feel that left side of the chest down to the ribs. Open up a little bit more. Breathe and slow breath out. Let's take one more here. And start to close everything back up. Come back to neutral. Notice how you feel here. Now, I want you to keep that right leg where it is. Extend that left leg out as well. So we're coming to a wide-legged seated position here, seated pose. And first thing we're going to do is make sure that our spine is nice and long. Bring your hands behind you. Sit up a little taller. Flex those toes, ground the heels down, and you might even use blocks here too, right behind you. And maybe you stay here. Feel that stretch into the legs, feel the toes spread out. If you have a little bit more room, it's great to have these blocks around or your bolster, anything for a little lift from the ground up to you. You can place the hands in front. Maybe the hands start to slide down the legs there, belly button in towards the spine so you feel that space into the low back. And just relaxing over your legs. You might go a little further onto the forearms in front, wherever it is. Keep that core strong, space into the back body, not going any farther than your body's allowing you today. Two more. Breathe in. Full breath out. One more time. In through the nose. Exhale. And if you have folded, start to tuck the chin in, rise all the way back up. Neutral into the spine. Nice work, everyone. Bend into both knees. Place the hands to the insides of the knees there. Pick them up, bring them together. Bend into the knees there, wrap your arms around, and then start to relax your head down. Soften into the back of your neck. Head gets a little heavier. Nose towards those knees there as you just hug in. Feel the space into the body, the rounding. Take another breath here. Full breath out. And start to tuck the chin in towards the chest. Rise all the way back up. Roll the shoulders back. Let's come onto all fours into tabletop position. So in your tabletop, just remembering to make sure that everything feels good. If you do have sensitive knees, bring that towel, place it under your knees there to give yourself a little bit of cushioning if you need that. Hands, place them down, spread the fingers nice and wide, start to stack the joints, shoulders over the wrists, knees right under the hips or sit bones, belly button in towards the spine. And we're just going to start to take a little bit of circling into the hips here. Just very gently and then maybe moving the other direction a little bit too. You might rock forward and back into the hips a bit. So we have been seated for quite a good half of the class there. So it's nice to just bring some movement into the hips here. Good. Now let's come back to neutral. Scoot your hips. Just scooch them over to the right side. Gaze to your left, maybe behind you. Find that stretch. Nice. Now let's do the same thing to the other side. Scooch the hips over to your left, gaze to your right or behind you. Good. Let's come all the way back to center. One more time. Scooch your hips over to the right, gaze over to the left, maybe behind you. And then come all the way back to center. Last time, scooch them over to the left, gaze over to the right. And come all the way back to center. Let's move through some cat and cows on all fours. So take a breath in, start to untuck the tailbone, lower the belly down gently, open the heart, gaze forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone back in, round the spine, open right in the shoulder blades there. Press your mat away from you as you relax your head. Inhale, come right back into your cow pose. Drop a little deeper, maybe. Exhale, round the spine. Breathe in. Full breath out. In through the nose. Let's do about 3-4 more rounds here, your pace, with your breath. I'll do one more here. Inhale. And exhale. Great job, everybody. Start to make your way back to center. Come back. Press into your hands. Press in. And then start to lift that right leg out behind you. Slide it over to the right side. And just make sure that you're lining up your hip to the knee, to the ankle. Turn the toes out just slightly so you can have that space into the right side of the hip. Press into your left hand and bring your right arm all the way up towards the sky. Open space. And then back down. Inhale to open right across, and you don't even have to go very high up. Exhale, bring it back down. 2 more. Breathe in. Full breath out. In through the nose. Exhale. Nice work, everybody. We're gonna bring that right hand back down, slide that right knee back in. We're gonna do a little threading the needle. Press into that left hand. Take that right arm out to the side. Exhale, thread it right under that right left shoulder. Bring your right ear down, the side of the head. Maybe that left arm kickstand, keeping it kickstand the way it is, or extending it forward to the front of the mat. Good. Let's take a couple breaths here. Now, if your head or the ear is not making it its way all the way to the mat, that's okay. Grab for the cushions, grab for that bolster, grab for that block that you have. Anything that's works for you. Bring your head to the prop there as you thread the shoulder in. That right arm doesn't have to slide all the way through. Only as deep as it feels good for you. Feel those hips lifted up. Take one more breath here. Exhale. Now start to press back into that left hand. Little bit of lift in the body. Slide that right arm back out. Place it down. Remove any blocks or any props out of the way. And let's try the other side now. The same thing. We're going to make sure that our knees are feeling okay. We're going to take our hands right back under our shoulders there. Take your left leg out this time. Flex those toes. Let me move so that I'm angled properly for you. So you can see that left leg stretches out. And then we're going to start to slide it over to that left side. Turn the toes out, line up the hip, knee, ankle, open up the hip a little bit by turning the toes just slightly. Press into that right hand. Make sure the joints are stacked here. Take that left arm up as high as you can. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, open right across the chest. Exhale, back down. Good. Two more, just like that. Breathe in. Move nice and slow. Exhale down. Last time, breathe in. Exhale all the way back down. Very good. Press into both hands. Slide that left knee back in. And then we're going to do our threading the needle on the other side. Press into that right hand. Take that left arm out. Stretch it out. Exhale. Thread it under your right shoulder this time. And relax the head down. Again, if you need those blocks or props under the head, under the ear, you can do that. Right hand, keep it the way it is. Kickstand, a little bend into that elbow if that feels good. Maybe extending it out to the front of your mat. Feel the hips here, nice and lifted. Make sure the knees are feeling good. Take two more breaths here. Breathe in. Exhale, let it all go. Press and ground that right hand down. Little lift of the body, slide that left arm out of the way, bring it back onto the mat, remove any blocks out of the way, and just from here, a few cat and cows here. Little movement into the spine, especially after that little bit of a twist there into the body and through the nose. Exhale, you're doing so good here. Let's come into a child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees out a little wider. Maybe hip distance, maybe mat width distance apart. Start to walk your hands forward. Extend the arms forward. Forehead might come down towards the ground, maybe onto a block or your bolster, anything at all. Maybe a bend into the elbows because you need it in your shoulders tonight. And then start to relax. Hips get a little heavier. Forehead relaxes on anything for that little bit of support right now. And just coming back into your breath. Slow it down. Breathe in, relax along the jaw there, shoulders get a little softer, heavy into the forearm. Two more. Feel the shins towards the mat, the tops of their feet, toenails down towards the mat. Hips get a little deeper towards the heels. Breathe in. Slow breath out. You're doing so good. Let's start to press into our hands. Lift all the way back up. And we're going to come onto our belly here from our tabletop position. So let's start to bring our forearms down. Legs start to stretch right back behind us. Belly down. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you can come onto your back right away. But we're going to come onto our belly. If you're feeling okay here, start to stack your hands in front. Place your forehead on top and take a couple of breaths here on your belly. Relax those shoulders. Hips get a little heavier. Feel the tops of your feet. Feel the heels splay out to the sides. Good. Take another breath here. Slow breath out. We're going to come into this first pose on our belly. We're going to lift our gaze back up, bring our forearms up, place them right in front. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So forearms are going to come right onto the mat here. We're going to bring our shoulders right over our elbows. So the elbows are going to start to walk in a bit. Now, if as you're walking the elbows in and they're getting closer towards your body there, towards your chest, towards your belly a little bit. Notice if that's too much into your low back. If it's too intense, walk your elbows farther away from your upper body. And that'll give it a less intensity. Relax your glutes here, down to the legs, down to the heels and toes. Find that place that feels good. We're just finding this gentle, very, very gentle back bend here. You can relax your head a little bit, soften in your neck. You can use a block, place it under your forehead or a bolster under your forehead for a little bit of support as you relax into this pose. Sphinx pose. Belly is soft, no muscular engagement here, just relaxing, trying your very best, especially in the shoulders, especially since we are propped up on our forearms. The shoulders can feel a little intense. Let it go with every exhale. See if you can soften just a little bit into the shoulders. Let's find 3 more of your breaths here. Good. One more. Breathe in. Slow breath out. Let that breath release. And we're going to start to release out of our Sphinx pose. Relax the elbows out to the side. Stack the hands. Place your head on top if that feels okay for you. Now, if you'd like, maybe bend into the knees. Bring a little windshield wiper of your legs side to side. Now you might bend one leg in, then the other. And then start to place your feet back down. Place your hands right under your shoulders. Press yourself all the way back up. And let's come on to our back. Good. So as we're coming onto the back, bring along either a block or your bolster. Bring it alongside. Just place them right by you as you're coming down onto your back so that they're easily accessible to you if you need that as we're coming down, because we're going to come into supported bridge for a little bit there. And you may choose either one to work with this evening. So let's bring ourselves right onto the back there. Feel the shoulders down, hips down, and right away draw those knees in towards you, right towards your chest. Grab for them from the shins, from the hamstrings, maybe a little movement side to side, front to back. Might even place your hands on top of the kneecaps and circle out the hips a little bit. Might cross at the ankles a little bit there too. See what feels good. Pick up the head, meet the knees. Oh, let's get right into our supported bridge pose. We're gonna bring our feet back down. Place them about hip distance apart. Knees are bent, and I'm going to show you both ways. So I have a block here. If you have your yoga block, we're going to press into our feet, lift the hips up, place that block on the lower setting of the block there, and then allow the hips to come down. Just make sure everything feels good here. And relax right here. This is your support bridge. So you want support bridge is just our bridge pose, but with a little bit of support under the hips there so that you can relax right into the pose here. Now, if this is too much or you don't have a block, you have your bolster instead, you can place the bolster, same thing here. So grabbing your bolster or cushions, folded towels, lift, press into your feet, lift the hips up, scooch that bolster right underneath. Bolsters, towels are going to be a little softer into your low back, so that may be more comfortable for you. You decide. And relax right into your supported bridge. Shoulders are going to get a little heavier. Feel that restorative pose here, relaxing your body bit by bit. Let's take 4 of your breaths here. Shoulders down, finding that heaviness and softness all at the same time. Right back into your breath. Allow everything to slow down, decompress. Let's find one more breath here. Exhale. We'll start to release out of our supported bridge pose here. Press into your feet. Let's slowly lift the hips up. Remove any of the prop that you have placed under there and slowly bring your hips all the way back down. Draw one knee in, then the other. Hug your knees in for a second. Movement if you choose to. Movement, maybe a little massaging into the low back or where the prop was. Massage it out. Now keep that right knee in towards you. Extend that left leg out. Flex the toes, ground the heel down. Relax the shoulders, find a little more compression into that right hip flexor as you draw the knee in a little closer towards you. And now let's switch sides. Draw that left knee in, extend the right leg out, flex the toes, ground that right heel down, and then find that little bit of compression into your left hip flexor as you relax the shoulders down. Take another breath here. Full breath out. And gently release that left leg down. Bring both knees, bend them up, feet onto the ground. Press into your feet, lift the hips up, scooch them over to your left side. Draw the knees in towards you and then float them down to the right side of your mat or the ground there. They may stack, they may stagger a bit. That's okay wherever it is, wherever feels the best for you. You're just going to find a gentle twist here. So you might start to relax that left shoulder down. You might keep the hands closer to your body as you find that twist. You might open, extend that left arm out to the side. Right hand might come on top of the leg there. For some of you, you might start to bring a gaze over to the left side, over that left shoulder. And stay right here. Pause. A few breaths here. And then at the bottom of your last exhale, start to pick up your legs, bring them back to center. Hips back to neutral. This time, let's scoot the hips over to the other side. Pick up your hips, scooch them over to the right, and then bring the knees in a bit there as you let them fall over to the left. They may stack on the side, they may stagger. You might extend that right arm out to the side, maybe gaze over that right shoulder. Breathe. I'm just coming into a twist that works for you, finding that gentle twist into the midsection of your body. Take a few breaths here. Let's find one more breath here in through the nose. Exhale, release. Start to come back to that neutral position. Pick up your legs, walk them back to the center, hips back to neutral. Let's take those knees back in one last time. Draw them in, give them a little hug, a little squeeze, some movement maybe. And then on your exhale, extend your arms out right to the back wall. Flex and point the toes, extend those legs out. Take a nice long body stretch here. Take 2 big breaths in, stretch it out. One more, breathe in. And exhale, release. And let's come down to your final pose for this evening's practice. Finding that place on your mat. Using those props around you to find a little comfort. Bolster under your knees, blocks under your knees, arms, maybe a block under your back of the head. Starting to close your eyes, soften your gaze, relax your shoulders down, hips get a little heavier. Then just right back into your breath. Breathe in. Slow breath out. Every exhale sending you deeper in towards your mat, sinking further, starting to go inward, allowing everything from your practice this evening, digest it, let it absorb into your body, finding somewhat of a bliss if that hopefully that is what you're feeling from this practice. And let everything go, let things be. Allow yourself this time on your mat in your practice, in your Shavasana. And please stay as long as you can. I invite you to just be where you are. Embrace this moment, quietness, stillness in the body. And have yourself a wonderful rest of the evening. Namaste.